Sorry, everyone, I forgot to record.
Okay. So here's the step. We'll go through it. So here's the temperature. We go up to 100. We're actually sitting at 90, but that should be fine. And it would boil for 10 minutes normally. So I'm just going to go through that step. Now, without the measuring cup in the top, I'm going to add in my dried spaghetti. I'll pop that on top. A bit more. There we go. So what happens now? So with the spaghetti, whatever temperature that you have, so for this particular spaghetti, it goes for about 9 minutes. So I'm just going to turn that on for 9. And come over here. It's actually got the reverse, and we're going to speed 1. And here we go. And as you can see, what happens is the spaghetti just turns around, and as it cooks, it slowly drops into the bowl. So I think the first couple of times are pretty cool when you get to see the spaghetti spin. So this will cook for another 8.5 minutes. So I'll pass you back to Liz.
So, ready?
Yeah, I'll just replace spotlight. Yep.
Okay, so we've sauteed the aromats, and now I'm going to add in the other ingredients. So it's 1 stick of celery, which I have cut up, and don't be afraid to use celery leaves. There's a lot of flavour in celery leaves, and it's a shame to throw it away. So just put that in. And it's a sweet carrot. The recipe is about 170 grams of carrot. So this is the size I cut them to. You can cut them, you have a little bit bigger, but because I've got quite a lot in here, I've kept them a bit smaller than I normally would. And then you'll find that I haven't really followed the weight that I've said I would, but you know, you just do what you've got. And you adjust the taste to your family. And then potato, again, which I've cut like that. So the beauty of the Thermomix is at 3 minutes when your aromats were sauteing, you could be actually prepping these, peeling and cutting the veggies. And then I'm putting in the sweet potato. So this is quite a bit of sweet potato. But what it does is it sweetens the sauce, and the vegetables like potato, for example, make it a nice thick sauce. So it's not just a plain tomato. And if I had salt and pepper, I would be adding salt and pepper at this point, or we can just add it later. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, so can I pinch?
Yep. Yep.
Sorry, I'm going to just do a few pinches. And of course, these are the ones that Lisa has milled beforehand from whole salt grains and black pepper. Oops, is that still on, Lisa? So you can adjust everything to your taste. Oops, I've moved it. Yep. And now we're just going to chop this for 3 seconds on speed 6. So I will set that to 3. Whoops. And we're taking this up to 6.
So the reason that it took a second to start up is because it's 70 degrees.
Yes.
So
now-
anything over 60.
Yes. It's
slow.
so yeah. So it wasn't quite the full 3 seconds as you normally get, but you saw how much I put in there and how chunky they were. Look at how amazing that is. Okay. So that's can you imagine when you're prepping, you know, all your sauces and bases, how quick it is to chop? Okay, and now I just need to just scrape down the sides. There's about 750 not liters, grams of vegetables in there. And now I'm going to, oh, did I add the oil already? Yep, no. So now I just need to put in a tin of tomato, 800 grams. Let's see, actually. I'm always curious as to how much they give me in these tins, and I always find I've been ripped off. There we go. So, yeah, I always find there's about 30 to 40 grams less than what they say, but that doesn't matter. And now, oh, the important thing is the wine. And this is 150 grams of dry white wine. Oh, it's a very nice one too, from Lisa's cellar. Yes, it is a lot. We are making 2 litres of sauce here. So if you're not a saucy kind of family, you can halve this, but I like to make this because it means I can put some in the freezer, or, you know, we can have it with pasta in the next day or something else, or use it on top of my parmigiana, things like that. And now we're going to cook this for 5 minutes at speed 100. On 1.5. So we're taking it to 5 minutes for 100 because of course we'll bring it to a boil, and then after that we'll turn it down so it's at a simmer. What I'm going to do now is move on to the gnocchi. Too far away. Yep. All right. Who's made gnocchi before? Or who's too scared to make gnocchi? I made it once before from many decades ago, and everyone loved it, but I vowed I'd never do it again because it was such a long process and not fun. But this one is super easy. So all it is, so we're going to start with 80 grams of parmesan, which I've cubed like this, and a handful of spinach. Now, if you're very particular, it can be anything from 40 to 80 grams of spinach, depends on how you like it. If you've got fussy kids who don't really want to see a lot of green food, then you might want to reduce it or not put it in at all. Or you might want to make princess gnocchi and put a little bit of beetroot in to make it pink. And in the old days, we used to call anything green, didn't we? We used to call it Shrek bread. So, you know, not that kids nowadays would know who Shrek is. The Hulk, that's right, it's a Hulk.
Yes.
All right, so that was spinach and parmesan in there. And now I'm going to put that, this is going to be noisy, hopefully it won't show through, 10 seconds on speed 9. Okay, so if anyone's had to grate parmesan, you know what a pain it is. And usually you just get a block out and you only grate what you need. But you saw how fast and easy it is to grate. And then I also did it with the herbs, okay? So I'll just scrape that down. Oh my gosh, I forgot the ricotta.
Oh no.
I can't believe it.
That's all right. We'll adapt and overcome.
We don't have anything. And I just did the biggest boo-boo, which you think a consultant of 13 years wouldn't do, and that was I forgot the ricotta. So, cottage cheese maybe?
No. Just normal cheese. Softest thing I've got is
The Mersey Valley?
yeah,
Mozzarella.
Mersey.
Yeah. Or
Or
let's do mozzarella.
that's all right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I made a big boo-boo, and we're going to adapt so it won't be ricotta, but we are using a soft cheese. It's going to be mozzarella, and we're going to, I'll probably have to chop it up in here.
Yeah.
And I've decided to make a gluten-free one because I know there are a lot of gluten-free people who have had to avoid pasta. I just bought this one from Coles, and it actually tastes all right. It's, like my husband will probably think it's not as nice as our normal flour, but it does say gluten-free down there. But it actually is quite nice. Okay, and how much was it? 200. No, oh, sorry, it's 400, but I can make it less.
Yeah.
How much is in this block?
The 500.
Okay.
Let's pull that off.
Alright.
Just got my bits.
So, with the ricotta, I mean, there are several on the market, and some of them are very liquidy. So normally, what you would do is pour it into your steaming basket. You know, the one that you get, you cook rice and things in, and let it drain. But today I found one that was called Perfect Italiano, and it was actually there was hardly any liquid that came from it, which is why I didn't bring the gnocchi, because I bought a large container thinking I was going to have a lot left over, but I didn't. Okay, so you have to imagine that this is ricotta, and I've just sort of chopped it roughly because we're going to chop the rest in here. Okay, that'll do. Or should I want me to do the whole?
No, you can use the rock if you
Okay.
want.
So with the sauce now, that's reached the 100. Now I'm going to set it for 30 minutes at 98 degrees on speed 2. So that's a beautiful thing about Thermomix, well, the TM6 and 5, you can get to 98 degrees and get a beautiful simmer. And I think also with the, I can't remember with the TM31. Oh, I better use all this up. And if this works out, that means that we've created a new recipe, spinach and mozzarella gnocchi.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit, yeah, there we go. So that was meant to be 500 grams, and again it was only 400 and something. I'm going to just turn it on high and chop it. So that actually is about the texture of that I would have got with the ricotta. But if I had had ricotta, I would just put ricotta in, and I would then weigh in the flour. So with this particular brand of gluten-free, it's like for like. So if it's 1 cup of plain flour, normal flour, it's 1 cup of this gluten-free flour. Now, so the ricotta was about 415. So what I usually do is, even though the recipe will say 400 ricotta, 200 flour, I always have the weight of the ricotta because, like I said, there are different brands and different qualities. So if you weigh in your ricotta first, halve it and add that amount of flour. So it's about 207. Well, I'm going to do a bit less because mozzarella is a little bit drier. Oh, 207 anyway. Okay. And now I'm just going to use the kneading function. And we're going to set it for a minute. And let Thermomix do the hard work.
Ooh. And then Claire, if you're good to go again.
Yep, they're all the spaghetti's cooked. So if you look in, there we go. So easy to do the spaghetti. Now, one of the tricks, which is quite handy, is your varoma. So I've just popped it in the sink and I'm now going to pour out my spaghetti. Shake it out. And I will pop this back here for a second. Actually, if I come around here, please excuse the kitchen. What you can do is you can turn it upside down, as you can see, and just twist the top. And that will get a bit of spaghetti out. So there we go. I've got the spaghetti there. And here is one I have made earlier. Up here. And this is what we made earlier. So what you do with the spaghetti is, so if you're looking at the instructions, we then pour the spaghetti into the varoma and into the thermoserver, and we use the spatula. If I come, and we place the 3 eggs in, and then move it around the spaghetti. So what I will do is I'll just get another bowl. Sorry guys, I should have had another bowl out. So I will get another bowl. What we're doing, mix that all. What I do here, just pop spaghetti in. If you can see, crack a couple of eggs. And pour in my egg mixture in. And giving it a stir as the egg cooks with the heat of the spaghetti. But it actually gives you a really nice silky texture. And then what you can do is the bacon. and the onion. I'll pop that in and stir around. And then the cheese that I grated earlier. So, go. And there we go. There's another spaghetti carbonara. So, so quick and easy. It as I say, the prep is about 10 minutes. The time in total is 35. But a good tip is to, if you're in the middle of doing it all and you want your water quickly for the boiling of the spaghetti, you could boil the kettle and pour the hot water in, just to save yourself on the 10 minutes there, or just sit down and have a cuppa while it's boiling away. But it's definitely a great thing to use the Thermomix to boil your pasta as well, because I think sometimes we do lots of other meals but we forget about that it can actually cook the pasta, and quite easy, and it doesn't break it up because it's got the reverse on. So yeah, so over to you guys.
That looks great.
Cool. Ben's dinner done.
How many would that feed, Claire?
This will feed 4 on the recipe, but I think with the amount that's there, depends. If you're small eaters, then I reckon there's 5. There's a lot. So
I had to sort of improvise a bit there by adding in some ricotta and milk. So this, I'll just take out a small portion so we can get it onto the get it cooking. Can that be seen? Yeah.
Yep.
So you just need to bring it together. What I usually do is break it into I knead it into a big ball, and then I roll them into sausages. So you can see the beautiful green. Actually, it doesn't quite look nice as on there, but it's very... Now, I've been making this for the 13 years, from when my kids were very little in primary school, and they would love helping me make this. This is such a forgiving recipe. So I would just do what I need to do in the Thermomix, and they would just have fun rolling these sausages out. And honestly, we'd have different size, different shape, different weight of ricotta, of gnocchi, and they would all work out beautifully and melt in the mouth. With your spatula, then you can dip it a bit in the flour and just cut. Not sure you can see that there.
The bigger pillars than you make.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Well, you can make them smaller.
No, that's good.
So this, and when they go in the water, they will fluff up a lot. So actually, I did used to make them smaller when the kids were little, but now, I do it bigger. And then if you had a fork, you can just roll the fork over it. But can you see how we've got those little ones like that? I'll just do one more little sausage. Thank you. So I'm no expert in how to do this, but I usually just roll like this. Don't know if you can see. Or just press, and then you will get, yeah. And those little indentations will make the sauce stick to it a lot better. So again, I'll just show you. It's very easy to do, a bit like playing with Play-Doh. Going from the center out, and as you're rolling it, you're sort of keeping it together, because it because it can sort of break up a little bit. So we'll do even smaller ones if you like, and then just like this. Now, at home, I don't know whether you've seen one of these. I'll get it from an Asian shop, which we use like if you're deep frying, you scoop things out and the oil drips. It's very, very fine mesh. It's quite a few layers of mesh. So what I do is pop them on here, depending on the size of your pot, and plonk it all in to the rapidly boiling water. Now when they come to the surface, leave it for another minute to cook, depending on the size, of course. And I'll just go and get this on now, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about how I use this for my family while Lisa, you want to take over, Lisa?
Yep.
Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. So I am just going to, is there any questions from anyone? Pop it in the chat. Otherwise I am just going to share my screen and give you share. So I've actually got my cookie dough there. So at the moment, so please let people know if you've got friends or family who'd like to buy a Thermomix at the moment, that there is 2 deals. There's 2 deals to choose from until the 21st at 9 a.m. WA time. You can actually, your gift with purchase can be a half-price pizza oven, which is fantastic. I just we used my sister-in-law's one last night, or let me see if I can move that out of the way. You can choose for free the black oval thermoserver and the Flavors of India cookbook, which is fantastic. Now, don't forget these Thursday virtual classes. Please feel free to invite friends along, because you can actually qualify for host rewards, all by just sitting on your own couch with a glass of wine. Invite them, they can join our class, and then you let us know who it was that you invited along, and you can qualify for these host rewards. Now, the other thing too, if you love your Thermomix, please let your consultant know, because you can actually join our team, Thermo Empire, and until the end of August, the business kit is actually half price, that you can see here. Now, it's actually $340 worth of stuff. So you get a carry bag, a thermo server, and the bread mat that Liz was using tonight, for $62.50, and start a business of your own. So it's fantastic. Wendy's online as well. She's just joined our team as well, which is fantastic. How you going? Yep. All right. I will just stop share. Yep.
Okay, so there was almost 2 litres of gnocchi dough in this, so it actually feeds quite a lot. But sometimes if I want to make more, you can actually add 50% more ingredient. Just bear in mind that whatever the ricotta weighs in at, you put the half amount of the flour in. Okay, so what I did make some before, of course, and these are my little mini servers, the same one that Claire used. And this was particularly helpful when my girls were doing sports and finishing late at night. So this is how I would keep their food nice and hot, particularly if it was like a stew or a soup. So I've just put the tea towel around the little mini thermo server. So these come on special every now and then. And so I cooked this at 5 o'clock, and I don't know whether you can see, there is still steam coming from it.
Yes.
I put quite a bit of sauce in. So what I suggest is, if you're doing something like this, Let me see if I can give you a nice little gnocchi. If you're doing something like this, slightly undercook the pasta or the gnocchi, so that it doesn't, I mean, even now, this has been over, this is what, nearly 3 hours. You can see that it still kept its shape and texture. And when I say this recipe is very forgiving, this is melt in the mouth gnocchi. And even when you reheat it. And I find that it doesn't fall apart either. So if you are reheating, you need to do it very gently. What I do, so I made a batch at home and I've got too much, and also with this batch tonight, what I'll do now is continue to roll them into little gnocchis, dust flour on it. You can put it in the freezer on a tray with baking paper, keep them separate, put them in the freezer, and when they're frozen, then bag it up into a sealed bag, and then you've got them ready for when you want to make gnocchi again. And you can just pop them straight into rapidly boiling salted water. Don't wait for it to thaw because it will go pretty squishy. And of course you can do whatever sauce you like. So another favourite is burnt butter and sage, if you like that to be very sophisticated. You can do your bolognese sauce if you like, or just a plain tomato sauce. But I like this red sauce, particularly when the kids were little. Not that my kids were fussy about veggies, but it just meant that I didn't have to make a salad or something else to go with the meal. I knew that just by giving them the gnocchi, which had spinach in already, and not as much flour as a traditional gnocchi, one that you would do with potato or whatever. And the sauce was just chockers full of vegetables. So are there any questions? If you can just put them in the chat.
Yeah, and if the people who, if iPad 10 and Pixel 3 can put their names in the chat as well. I think iPad 10 might be Christian. But if you can let us know. Also, my daughter actually likes the white sauce with her gnocchi.
Which white sauce is that?
Your normal white sauce, and it's called
Bechamel.
Bechamel. That's it.
Yeah. And then
Sorry, it's
put cheese on
Thursday.
top and grill it.
Yes. So so I do the bechamel sauce for my daughter when she has her sweet potato gnocchi, and I've just learnt from Liz. I'm actually going to make this sweet potato gnocchi a little bit bigger, which I'm looking forward to that. And then also a note on Jade, a note with your bread mat is not to use knives, because if you cut it, you then can't use the bread mat anymore. So that's why we always use our spatula to cut things on the bread mat as well. That's another handy hint. All right, we've got 10 more minutes with the sauce.
Which we don't have to wait
Which,
for.
yeah, we don't. Oh, yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because it's 7:50. I'll get Liz to stop the sauce, and do you want me to grab?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that should be. that would be well and truly ready. So if we've got still 10 minutes to go with the sauce, but I just wanted to show you the texture. I mean, the sauce is actually cooked, but of course, the longer you cook a sauce like this, the more flavour you get. And usually, even though you might set it for 30 minutes, if it takes you 40 minutes to cook the gnocchi, just keep the sauce going because it's going to have even more flavour. Oh, do they? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll just show these.
Yes.
So you'll see that it's actually quite chunky. Now you can serve it like that, but what I like to make it much smoother, particularly if you've got people who have problems with texture. And so at the end, you can just slowly turn it up to blend it. So I'll just show you how. I won't finish the cooking on that. Oops. Just turn that. I'm taking off the time because I don't want it to continue cooking. So because it's very hot, it's not going to allow me to go up high, but it will allow me to go up to...
Oh, yeah. So just press and hold the...
So 4. And again, this depends on how you like to have it. Now, the reason why we don't chop the vegetables even more finely before we cook is because you actually get a better flavour when the vegetables are left a little bit chunky. It's better to have them a little bit chunky and then cook them down and then blend it. If you have it too mushy in the first place, it doesn't quite bring out the flavours. So, and now what we've got is a less chunky sort of flavour, nice thick sauce. So that's going to coat the gnocchi really, really well.
That looks good.
Okay, so that's it for tonight from me. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that looked fantastic, Liz. That looks really good. Now, oh, fabulous. Thanks, Sue. Now, an advertisement as well. Because we start at 7, I'm actually going to trial we're going to trial for the next 2 weeks. We're going to do Monday at 8 p.m. We're going to keep our Thursday 7 p.m. for now, but we're going to try Monday at 8 p.m. So please have a look on Ask Your Consultant, or have a look on my Facebook page, and I will share, because it's a different code to tonight, but I'll do the link and the advert for Monday night. We're going to do Asian theme. We're going to do, I think it's honey barbecue chicken or something it's called, which just looks beautiful. So fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming along. Please let us know if any questions before we go. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you Monday night or next Thursday night. And don't forget to invite your friends as well, and let people know if they weren't able to come on tonight that this will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow for them to watch as well. Yeah, contact your consultant. They'll give you the link to be able to watch it. And any other questions, definitely contact your consultant. Monday and Thursday be the same recipe? No, I'm going to try all sorts of different things. So next Monday will be the Asian, and the following Monday, I've already decided, is going to be biryani, which is uses the rice cooking mode to do the rice for the biryani. Is fantastic. It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Do you want to show that
So
again?
there we go. This is what Lisa and I are going to have for dinner now, and you can too. Let us know if you want the recipe. Just contact the person who invited you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming along, everyone, tonight. And hopefully we will see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Claire, as well.